do any work. I've told multiple students that in the past because you get every opportunity to do it. So please make sure, even if you struggle, to have a conversation with me. And I am actually going to be having a conversation with a couple of students at the end of this lesson today. All right. No, not you. You're a lost cause. All right. So as we go through, what? No, you're doing fine. As you go through, let's talk about this. Now, this is putting everything together of what we learned in this lesson. And just so you guys understand, now this is a work and repetition. Okay. There are 3 problems I'm going to do on the board, and then 3 I want you to do on your own. Okay. But with these 3, okay, this is what I need you guys to understand. When you're creating these on Alex, this is what you have to do. They will give you this. All right. So you're going to do, and you're going to create, you're going to write equations, and they have to be the y equals mx plus v equations. Okay. The point slope or the slope intercept equations. All right. So now we start with point slope again. All right. So you have a y coordinate, and it's going to equal, and then you do your parallel one, which would be the same slope, and then it's x minus 8, right? Okay, now here's what you got to understand. Now you're going to solve this one out. Now one of these is always going to look very clean, and one of these is going to look really ugly. Okay, so when you do the distribution on this particular one, and leave yourself space because you're going to write the perpendicular one underneath. So if you write really gigantic vertically, may need to shrink it up just a little bit, okay? So here's your equation x. And then you can't simplify this, but negative times the negative is what? Positive 16 over 5. Can you make that any smaller or simplify that? The answer is what? No. Okay, so now you have to make it y equals. So you add 2 to both sides. Now here is where some of you may not be able to do this math either. And so I encourage you strongly. 16 over 5 plus 2. Who's got it? Leave it as a fraction. What do you got? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, so here's the key.
186 over 5?
Good job, Job. That's it. If you don't know how to do it, ladies and gentlemen, put it into a calculator. Okay? So otherwise, figure out the common denominator, which would be 5, and then it would be 10 over 5, and 20, and then 16 plus 10 is 26 over 5. Okay? So does that make sense to everybody? Okay? If it doesn't make sense to you, put it in a damn calculator. Okay, Abby? And then brush your teeth. All right, so I'm just kidding. See, that's what happens when you have friends that throw you under a bus and then back up and hit you again. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, here is your parallel. Okay, now we are going to do the perpendicular. Okay, perpendicular is the exact same equation.
Wait, I have a question.
What?
How did you get to 26?
It's 16 over 5 plus 2. Put it in a calculator. How we got 26 is, you remember from elementary school days, if I go like this, what do I have to do to this 2? I have to make the common denominator the what? The same. So 2 is the equivalent of what? If I have a 5 here, what number has to be here? 10. See? Look at you. You can do math. I'm tired of you telling me you can't do math.
Well, that's just logical
Whatever.
math.
That's how. Make sense, Maya? You asked and then you turned away. Great. Okay.
I'm writing it all down.
Okay. So, whoops. Did I go too far? Okay. So, what you guys need to do now, okay, is do the same problem again. Y minus 2 equals. However, this time we're doing the perpendicular. What is the perpendicular slope of negative 2 over 5? 5 over 2, and it would be now positive. Okay? But everything else is exactly the same. Okay? The only difference would be the slope, right? And now you solve this one out. This one will actually come out to be nice and simpler. So this will be 5 over 2x. And then 5 times negative 8 is a negative. Divide by 2 is negative 20. Okay?
Wait. Oh, okay.
Put that in a calculator if you can't do that simple math. Add 2. And then, ladies and gentlemen, here's your final equation. Y equals 5 over 2x minus 18. So the goal of this entire thing is if I were to go on to Desmos and graph these two equations, they both, one would be parallel, the other one would be perpendicular, and they would both pass through point 8, comma 2, which actually tells me where do the two, where do they actually meet? They would actually meet, guess where? 8, comma 2. Okay, that's actually where they would meet. Then one will go the other way and one will go the opposite direction, but it should be 45-degree angles. If you go into Alex and we were to graph these and it's not on this point and your angles don't look like a plus, okay, so you may have to turn your head. If it looks like this, okay, that means you've graphed it wrong, okay? If it doesn't look like a plus sign or somebody doing the blessing, okay, then no, ladies and gentlemen, what? You did it wrong, okay? Any questions on that? All right, same thing with the other ones, okay? So this is one of those, another test in your guys' abilities. So y minus, that turns it positive because that's a -4 equals -5 over 6. And then it's x plus 6, right? Because the negative turns it positive. And then I'll do this last one so I can take it all the way to the top. Y minus, and that would be a 3 equals -6, and then x plus 7. Okay, so there are my two equations because I don't need anything else on there because I know these equations are exactly the same. I just got to take this and flip it for the other slope. Okay, so make sure as you guys are going through this is the same one. This is another one of those ugly ones. Okay, where 6 and 5 would be 30. So it would be not plus. Okay, but this would be a minus. That would be 30 over 6. Right? Did I do that right? Yeah, that would be a -5, right? So let me erase that. -5. Right? And then, so what do you have now? Now you basically do the rest of your setup here. Subtract 4 from both sides. And your equation ends up being y equals -5 over 6x minus 9. Right? And then the bottom half of this equation is probably going to end up being the uglier one of the two. Or that'll be y plus 4. It's the same thing. And now it's the perpendicular. So it's multiplying a negative and then flip the reciprocal. All right, any questions on this? So what it's going to do is make sure you guys understand, all right? So this one is going to be the uglier one, where it's going to be 6 over 5x, and then it's plus 36 over 5. So when you subtract 4, yep. All right. Y equals. If you don't know how you got that one, that's -20 over 5. Okay. If you don't know how to figure that part out. All right. Any questions on that? Ladies, can you see that back there? Abby, sorry. You cannot. All right. It's key imperative that you guys understand. Okay. These, I have seen these questions every year, by the way, on all of the Galileo testing, where they will give you a point, an equation, and say, all right, find the line that runs through this. And you have to basically do this math. Now, will you remember this before we take the final? No. We'll have a refresher. But remember, my job as your teacher sometimes is to create a sense, and this is what I fully understand. Most of you in here won't remember everything that you're taught, but to create a sense of deja vu, where you look at it and you say, I think I've seen this before, and I think I can do this. Instead of a sense of looking at something and be like, well, forget it, I've never seen anything like this before, I'm out. No. Ask yourself and think, okay, have I seen this before? Do I think I can do it? If I can create a sense of deja vu for you, then maybe you can start to troubleshoot that process, okay? That's the key for you guys to be successful, is you're never going to remember everything that you learned. Heck, when I went back in and I took the math test to be a math teacher, okay, they had a little book that you could study. And it had been, when I took this test, I was almost 30 years old when I took the test. I just did it on a whim. And they had a little book you could study, but it had been over 12 years since I've been in high school, and I didn't remember most of the math. So when I was taking that test, I sat there and I was like, I think I can do some of this. I think I remember it. And started doing it, and then I passed it. For you guys, it's the same thing. When you're going through this, I'm trying to create a sense of, okay, I've seen a lot of different possibilities. Now I might be able to do this on my own, okay? That's the only thing I can do as your teacher. The last one here, same style, okay? Y minus 3 equals, now it's 1/6, and it's going to be x plus 7. So that would be y minus 3 equals 1/6x plus 7/6. You're going to add 3. So you end up with y equals, what is that, 1/6x. And then that would be, forget it, I already written down, I'm not going to try to guess. 25/6. Okay, any questions? Green Bay Packer colors. Boo. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, there are your 6 answers for these questions. What I want you to do is please take this opportunity to work on the last 3 on your own, okay? I'll give you the answers, all right? I'll give you the equations and then see if you guys can get to them, all right? Any questions on that? Yes, Dave. Gio, you got a question? Okay. All right, make sure you guys work on the next 3, please. Try to do them on your own, or at least write this down. I see you wrote everything down. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I can give you
It's fine. Did anybody need those up still?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
You're welcome. I don't obtain.
How do you obtain information then?
I don't know if my teacher.
Then you can't say you didn't. Hold on, no. You can't say that if you don't obtain it. If you don't know how you obtain it, then how can you tell me that it doesn't work the way I'm trying?
My teacher didn't ask me that. I obtained it usually.
How did you do that?
She did it step by step. Like literally step by step. Like way in depth. Step by step. Maybe it's because I was in a special class. But like she did it like really step by step.
What am I doing? Am I skipping stuff?
Step by step. No, it's not. Very, to me, he's doing it step by step.
It's step by step.
Like look.
The problem is these are more advanced steps. It's not.
He literally says this step, then it goes to that step, then it goes to this step. And that. He's taking him step by step.
I've got a headache. You're not. Shh, everybody on YouTube does. They just said it. I'm just kidding. They don't know who you are. We're not going to say your name. Renee.
That's my mom.
Is it?
Biological mom.
That's my aunt that I haven't seen in many years.
I don't have one yet. Oh, yeah, I do. I think so.
Right? Let me see here.
Mr. Stein.
Hold on.
Yep.
Yes, I'll be here. Will it? I don't know if it'll help though. Yes, I'll be here. All right, make sure you have these setups, guys, as you're going through it. Finish it up on your own, and if you want to know the answers, just ask later, okay? All right, so I'll write these down for everybody here. Fine, thank you. But
Who's that?
I don't, it's a different student.
Can you say hi?
I think you're saying hi to them
Oh,
because I think they're hearing the whole conversation about everything since the microphone is like right at the top of that.
Your computer is very galaxy.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Go from there, right?
You're okay.
I don't.
You just look at the
Hey, what did you do at lunch?
Eat.
Did you eat any brownies or anything that you shouldn't have?
No.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
No.
All right, so yes, ma'am.
So are you like labeling this person or are you just going for it?
The what?
Are you like going for it?
I thought I had something.
No, I'll put this up later on the YouTube so that if anybody's gone,
That's very silly.
you can watch it on my channel. So that way, if you missed the day, because I know I have Miss Lauren, I have some other students out today that have been out for a while.
I was just confused. I was like,
Yeah, that's recording. I'm actually live on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, you'll see
Can I log in?
there's a 5-second delay, but you'll see me on there right now. Yes.
I'm looking right now. He's live on YouTube.
Tiger
YouTubers.
Yes, Tiger Man. All right. Any questions about this? All right. So make sure when you guys are finishing these out, okay?
He's live.
Yeah. Do you think I'm lying to you?
No.
All right. That would be what? Plus, I think it's 21.
Look at Mr. Stein. Are you actually okay? I'm actually questioning.
All right. So there's that answer there, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure as you guys go through this, if you start getting the complicated ones, remember one will be simple, but because it flips, okay, like this one's the simple, it's got a whole number. The other one's going to end up being most likely a fraction, okay? Well, this one here is minus what, 27 over 7? So when you subtract 6, it gets even crazier. And I'm not going to even try to attempt to solve that, but what it is, it's actually comes out to be y equals 3 over 7x minus 69 over 7, okay? So be fully aware, these are pulled directly from Alex, okay? When I go through the process, I figure out, I don't really look at the answer. I start going through them to realize, oh, okay, which ones do I want to use? And I just pick random ones out, but these are the kinds that are on Alex for you guys on the homework. So you will get weird decimals like that. So please be sure when you get those that you don't think you made a mistake. Okay, so that would be negative 4x, and that is minus 8, minus 4. So you end up as negative 4x minus 12, like that. There's one answer there. And then the other one would be 1/4 x plus 1/2. Okay, and then you would subtract 4. So you guys know you get y equals 1/4 x, and then that's minus 7 over 2, right? 3.5. Okay, so hopefully you guys got that part too. All right, any other questions on this, huh?
I honestly don't think she's okay.
No, I know, she's not. All right, so,
I won't look at her after lunch.
well, good luck. All right. Y plus 5,
This is their information.
and then that's minus 6.
Like, when I get home. You're not gonna know what it means then. It's okay. He has the informational video.
Yep. So go back and listen to yourself.
I'm excited.
I'm pretty sure you're going to hear yourself on the video.
I know, that's why I want to listen to it.
Okay, great. Let me know how it sounds. See how close it is. Like, I can hear myself really well. Or I could barely hear my like that. Or could I hear you? No. You get what I'm saying. Okay. All right. Okay, hold on. Let me look at our pupils. Uh-oh. All right, so.
Can you do this? No. You don't know how to do
All right, and then that would be 32. Is that right? Yep, over 3.
No.
Then you subtract 5. So you guys end up with a very interesting equation. But please make sure you guys understand this is what you will see on Alex, okay? It doesn't make sense, but that is the answers that you guys will have to get, okay? It's how it works. The reason I use Alex this year is to make sure you guys understand and you see the different versions of this, okay? Any questions? All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you study up. Do the homework. Get ready for the quiz for tomorrow.
I'm more than ready for the quiz.
It's open notes. Everybody have a fantastic
Thank you.
day.
I'm so glad that I was actually good at one subject. I am good at my one skill.